Today I want to talk about business basics for small indie game devs who want to build a successful studio. So what you'll learn are the non-obvious business basics most game devs never grasp. And because most indie game devs don't grasp these basics, they often fail at their goal of finding customers and having a studio, that supports their life. And what I'm about to teach you is not boring technical stuff. It's not about, how to incorporate. It's not about how to write a business plan because, business plans are basically business guesses anyway. So here's your first business basic insight. So nobody will pay you except customers. So the very first insight most game devs never get is, where does the money come from? And this is the biggest reason why, small indie game dev studios never grow. It's because they don't understand where, they get paid from, right? So for example, a game dev will work for some big company. They get paid, every week or two. Their wage, is basically given. And as long as, they work hard, they will get paid. So, for the most part, wages are guaranteed. And this is a huge problem when a game dev then decides to go off on their own. They don't realize the true, impact of losing that guaranteed income. And this is obvious. Sure, every game dev knows that they're taking a huge risk when they go off on their own and they're, basically losing their guaranteed income. But here's the insight I want you to learn. And here's the non-obvious, experience you'll face. So your wages are no longer coming from some big company or corporation, your employer, right? Your wages are now directly coming from the customer. And it's not coming from, funders. It's not coming from investors. It's not coming from publishers. It's coming from the customer. And this subtle change has a huge impact on how you see your game studio. So for example, when you're a hobbyist, you don't care where the money's coming from, right? You just want to make a game that, you like and hope that people like, right? But if you're doing this, to become success in terms of making money and you want your, studio to grow, then where you get your money becomes very important. And most game devs are, scared of this notion of, customers now pay the wage, right? So they resort to, Kickstarter, or they want to find investors, or they want to find a publisher, to help them pay their way to, make their game. And if they can't get funding, what they'll do is, they'll go to YouTubers or game journalists and hope that, other people will help them find customers for them. So this leads me to my next insight, and that is employee thinking stops you from growing. So what worked for you as an employee is not going to work as a small indie game studio. So what I mean is, as an employee, a developer gets used to getting paid and getting paid regularly, right? And when this developer starts their own studio, they bring this, employee thinking with them. So when a developer has a job, they would produce results, and then they get rewarded for, doing their stuff, their work through, a paycheck. And the pay came regularly and it came consistently. So employee thinking is basically, you do a good job, you produce, you work hard, and then you get paid regularly. But when you start your own game studio, you can produce all you want. You can do, you can work as hard as you want, but it's going to be a long, long time before you see any rewards from your work. And, this is okay. That's the nature of running your own business. Rewards aren't instant, and you have to be okay, with delayed gratification, right? You do your work and it might be a while before you see any results from that work. And the thing is, this employee thinking is really hard to shake off. And that's why, like I mentioned before, game devs want to, find Kickstarter money, or try to find investors, or try to find a publisher. And then, like I said before, if they can't find funding, another good way is to find, YouTubers or game journalists to help them, find those customers and help them get paid. And I know it sucks. I know it's risky to let go of, employee thinking, but once you take, full responsibility that, you have to, pay yourself, then you'll build that self-confidence, that self-reliance that, yes, I can do something and people will pay for me. And then I can rely on myself, to keep me afloat financially and, grow my studio. Because self-accountability is really important if you want to grow your, game studio. Nobody's coming to save you. It's not going to be a publisher or an investor or a Kickstarter or a YouTuber or a game journalist. No one's coming to save you. You need to rely on yourself. You need to get comfortable that, customers now pay your wage and that it's up to you to get paid. And, this employee thinking is the single biggest reason why, small indie game studios fail. They don't understand that if there's no customers, there's no business, right? You can't grow without customers. It doesn't matter if you have, investor money or funding or publishers. That doesn't grow your studio, right? It's actually getting customers. And look at Telltale Games, right? They had a lot of, investor money, but they still folded because they couldn't get customers. And usually what happens is when game devs don't see that money coming in right away, like they did with a paycheck, then, they'll quit. They don't persevere because they were so used to getting paid, regularly that, now they don't understand there's going to be a little bit of a gap or time between their work and their reward. Also, when you rely on yourself, you become a better game developer. You realize that there is a balance between what you want and gamers want, and you start seeing, opportunities to build games that everybody wants and build games that people will buy. Essentially, you're going to pick up, instincts to make your game more marketable. But if you rely on other people's money, you kind of lose that drive to survive, right? You lose that skill of making, video games that everybody wants, but no one's making yet because you're so focused on trying to get funding. Okay, next insight is you are responsible for all the results. So when you're working for a company, you are, sheltered from all the danger, right? What I mean is when you're inside a company, your results are not the end results. So for example, a company has you sit there, you're basically a coding monkey or a designer or an artist, right? You do one specific job basically all day, and your results are not the end results. What you do, what you finish gets moved on to another person. So you're hardly ever responsible for the, the entire results of that project and what you do. But once you leave and become, indie game dev, you are now responsible for all the results. And I know this sounds obvious, but here's the non-obvious insight. When you're working in a company, it's safe. And yeah, you may worry that if you don't, do a good job, they might get rid of you. And yes, working at a game company means that you could be laid off, any moment, right? But you're still not at all close to any danger. You just worry about your specific job, your role, and you hope that, the company, doesn't lay you off. And all you have to do is do a good job, work hard, and you get that paycheck. And you're not worried about getting customers or getting profits. And this is a big shock to an indie game dev who goes off on their own and starts their own studio. They don't realize how important sales and getting customers is. And they thought that if they could, rely on their talent as a game dev, the money would just keep coming. And as an employee, this is usually what happened, right? Talented people got rewarded. Well, not all the time, but for the most part, if you're talented, you get a better chance of keeping your job and getting paid and getting better opportunities. Again, not always, but there's a good chance if you're talented, right? But once you leave that security of a company, your talents basically mean jack shit. You'll finally realize that working for yourself, you are right next to the danger. You are no longer sheltered by a company and its resources and the wages, and all the responsibility falls on you. And that's why most game devs, want to get funding and want to find a publisher. They basically want to push the responsibility of finding customers to someone else. But you can't grow your studio if you don't have customers, and it's your job to learn how to find customers. And this is a good thing because now that it's your responsibility, to face danger, you'll have a better chance of succeeding. And because this idea of finding customers won't shock you, this won't be like a oh shit moment, right? And you'll persevere a lot more when you know that, danger is part of growing your game studio. So this leads me into the next insight, and that is players do not pay you because you're talented and you're a hard worker. So the only way, like I said, is to grow your indie game studio is by getting gamers as customers. And what you make will be judged by these gamers, right? And gamers judge with their wallets, and your success depends on what that gamer likes and doesn't like and is willing to spend money on. So here's the non-obvious insight. Gamers don't spend money on talent. Gamers don't spend money on your ideas. Gamers don't spend money on your hard work. Gamers are self-interested. They spend money on what makes them happy and what entertains them. So your game is just a way for them to get that, entertainment and that fun. And this is okay. When you're, making a video game for profit, knowing this will help you sell more copies. Again, if you're just a hobbyist and you're doing this as a passion project, then you don't care about all this stuff, right? You just want to make a game that you like, and then if it's successful and a lot of people like it, even better, right? But if you want your game studio to grow, you got to learn how to create customers. Yeah, you're still, developing games, you're creating games, but the reason you're making video games is to create new customers, right? Because without customers, you have no indie game studio, you have no money, you have no resources to make a new game. You'll always be relying on other people's money. So for example, publishers, investors, or even employment, or, YouTubers, helping you find more customers. Because if you truly want to free yourself from, other people's money, then you need to become self-reliant, and you got to learn how to, find your own customers. Because if you spend all your time making, games that you like and not even consider what, that your gamer likes, then it'll be very tough to become a successful game studio. Essentially, it's your job to balance what you want and what gamers want. And knowing what a gamer wants is business basics. Trying to, force or convince a gamer to like what you like is very hard to do. And I'm not saying you need to pander or chase trends, right? And I'm not saying you need to become, a corporate stooge that only thinks about money and, only sees people as money, right? No, I'm actually talking about the total opposite. All your time making games so that in your mind you're creating new gamers, then you're really out there trying to discover what is not out there yet, right? But if you look at AAA game publishers, they're the ones that are pandering, right? They are constantly making games because They have market research. They want to make games that are safe. They want to make games that, become franchises so they can rely on that franchise instead of, trying to do something innovative. But as an indie game dev, you can make, basically what the hell you want, right? You can, explore new game mechanics. You can experiment with story and gameplay. You can experiment with art and animation. You're allowed to take those risks. But this can't be done in a vacuum. What you explore also needs to be directly connected to what the gamer wants. And this is what I mean when I said you're closer to danger, right? You might come up with a truly innovative game, but if a gamer doesn't care, then you have to go back to the drawing board. And you're closer to danger because what you make can be a complete failure or a huge success. Basically, you're living by the sword and you're dying by the sword, and gamers judge with their wallets. But the good news is you can make games that you love, but make games that will appeal to the market. So let's do that right now. So here's your challenge to help you find customers and grow your indie game studio. So let's get rid of, employee thinking, and let's work on your skill on getting, customers. And to do that is very simple. Here's what I want to know. What can you do right now to get one step closer to getting your first customer or wish list or even a fan? So it doesn't matter if your game is 2 hours old or 2 years old, or even if your game is already launched and you're not getting sales. So it doesn't matter where you're at development. What matters right now is action, taking action. So it's not more planning, no more thinking, no more strategizing, take action. So what can you do in the next 15 minutes to get you one step closer to finding a fan or a wish list or a potential customers? So to help you nudge you in the right direction, here's your one-step action plan. So here's what I want you to do, and it's very simple. So find a subreddit that's in the same genre your game is in, or find a subreddit for games that are similar to your game, right? And then find a post and go into the comments, and then in the comments, find a user and then send them a DM asking something simple like this. Hey, I'm making an indie game, in this genre, and I was wondering if you can, have a look and tell me what you think. Here's the link. And then you have your link to your Steam page or your itch.io or whatever, right? So just get the ball rolling, commit to getting out there and talking to, potential customers at least 3 times a week. And because what you're doing here is you're learning how to get comfortable in being in danger. And this is the only way I know how to overcome fear, right? Is to expose yourself to that fear. Plus, the feedback you get will help you, iterate your game and make it something that is, people will want to buy and make it more marketable. And again, it doesn't matter how far you're into development. It's really important to learn, this skill of getting customers as early as you can, as early as possible, because this is how you truly grow your studio, right? It's customers that are the ones that grow your studio. It's not funding. It's not investors. It's not YouTubers. It's up to you, to find those customers. And by the way, if you're having trouble, growing your wish list for your game, then I'd love to chat and ask you some questions to see, if my personal marketing can help you find players. So click the link below for more details. Okay, great job. I hope you at least got one idea to help you find customers and grow your game studio. Again, my name is Dariusz. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and good luck marketing your game. See ya.